Yes, people, good evening. Welcome back to the video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight. Got back from Southampton last. Need to come back 1:30, and I got turn Rolly. Big up to Rolly. How are we doing, kiddo?
Great, thanks, John. What a night! What a night!
It sure is, my guy. It sure is, and yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, sort of thing. Like I knew we were gonna have to be patient last night, and look. You know, I thought it was going to be 2-0, but I said he's going to get let go along the way. But thank God Joe Linton's got it. But yeah, so before you go on, if you do like the video, like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, please. And if you like to super chat, then you know exactly what to do. Just give what the channel's worth. And if you like to become a member of the show, then hit that join button, 99p. And that's all there is to it. Let's go straight to the comments.
Don't forget to share it on your socials as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my guy. Thank you very much. Got Bobby Kidd. Big up to Bobby. Did a thumbs up via the WhatsApp as well. If you've got WhatsApp, you can send on WhatsApp as well. Even John, hope you enjoyed your trip to Southampton. Kept your head doing it in the home end. I sure did, mate. And you know what it is, right? There's a last sat next to us, right? With a partner. And they looked after as well. Thank you very much indeed for that. Big up to Tom, by the way. I bet you're buzzing over your trip to Southampton. I sure was. I was absolutely enjoyed it. I mean, when Julian got that goal, I had to keep it within myself, so I couldn't see it out, you know, with respect. But one of them kept on the shoe, that sort of thing, and actually shook us by the hand. So big up to that person, shook us by the hand. Thank you. Big up to Night Z Gaming. Give it even to you. See, Daily Express are reporting shite again. Eddie said how happy he was with ASM, and now they're reporting he's being sued as not wanted. What a joke. Let me just be clear, right? I mean, I'll do a transfer show tomorrow, and I'll have plenty to say on that. Okay, the ASM will not be going to AC Milan. And, well, you believe what you will. Sempre Inter has come out and talking crap as well. Hi, John. What's all this shout about Everton wanting 60 million for Gordon? Not worth more than 30. You're right. I'd be clear on that as well. Anthony Gordon ain't worth 60 million quid. He's got to be better than Francesco Chiesa than Juve, right? And I tell you what, he cannot list Chiesa's boots. I'm telling you. There you go. Let's go on. So it's official news. AC Milan's very interested in ASM. Big up to Bishop as well. Where's my invite? What I'll do, right? I'll send you the link, right? If you want to come on, send you the link, mate. Okay. If I read the comments, I'll send you that link as well. I thought you was in the gym, by the way, but I'll send that link, mate. Saints fan. Big up to Kate. Hi to you, Kate. Hope you're okay. Mark, I didn't do the show last week. I was in Southampton. What do you think of Nicola Saniola? He has 2 crucial ligaments injuries, John. He looks a class player. I would love to see him at a Toon. So would I. But it had to be a stringent medical if we're after this guy. Me personally, if he's going to come into the Premier League, I think he'll probably end up going to London. So that means he'd probably go to Tottenham as well. I hope I am wrong.
Chelsea are behind everyone, so might go there.
Which moves, my guy, which moves. Change my channel to Rock the Toon instead of the Toon Rock. Well, good evening to you. Rock the Toon, Toon Rocker, Rock the Toon. Listen, welcome to me show, my guy. And it's great to have you on show. Big up to Luke, by the way. Lukey. Get in front of the first leg, a massive buzzing. We've got to talk about that as well. And some breaking news according to Anthony Gordon. The deal is off on reports. Believe what you will. Callum Wilson ain't nowhere near. We're going to talk about Callum Wilson later on, and I got my say on him as well. Took miles off it. What more does Isak have to do? Won the game of Fulham and basically won the semi-final. Absolutely. Was St. Martin. Everton won 6 for Anthony. I think he's worth half a lot. We are going to Wembley. We're going to Wembley. Yes, we are. We are going to Wembley. Kate, I got another 45 minutes of 90 minutes of football yet. Yes, I will do, mate. I'll do that. Good, big up to you. Right then, talk about last night's game between Newcastle and Southampton. That's St Mary's cracking atmosphere last night where I stood, man. And I thought Eddie Howe got his selections right, apart from with assisting with Callum. He should have played with Alex up top, and you can see what he did. I mean, give us a breakdown on the game, mate.
I thought we started off quite well, attacking as we normally do, but we just couldn't finish. Willett putting that one in the first minute over the bar. Longstaff had a chance. Then we settled down. was just being patient. When the Joe Linton's goal was disallowed, I couldn't understand that because that hit his chest. And there was a good angle where you can see it, because most of the angles it looked like he hit his arm, which is understandable because it was close to it. But there's one angle, if you were standing on the goal line from the right hand post, you could see clearly that it hit his chest, not his arm. So we should have had that one off. I thought Bruno was class, but his passing was a bit off yesterday. And there are a few people whose passes are a bit off. Second half, I think they came out to really have a go. Nick Pope made 2 class saves. Then we made the substitutions. Isak and ASN coming on for Willock and Wilson, and that turned the game around. Isak is class. I mean, the way he created that goal, sucked the defender in and then accelerated away, looked up, played the perfect ball. Even Joe Linton couldn't miss from there, like he did in his earlier chance. And then ASM was scaring the living daylights out of them when he's running at them. That guy gets clips in, gets his second yellow, gets his red, and then Jacob Murphy with a perfect bit of shithousery, waving off.
Dickhead. Absolute dickhead.
And once Adam Armstrong's goal was disallowed straight after Joe Linton's, rightly so. After that, we didn't really threaten too much. We just played out the game. Would have liked to have won by more, but I'm quite happy with a 1-0 win to take back to St James's. Got up early. Hopefully, we'll start with ASM and Isak. Get a goal up early. They're not going to score 2. And Wembley, here we come.
Absolutely. I'll just go through this comment over. Well sub, by the way, my guy. Martin, I missed you out, Martin. Isak Ranso, Yon to Henri. I tell you, if he's half as good as this guy, I tell you what, he'd be the best striker in the Premier League. Let's be real. Wilson's 15 touches, a towel the game is on. Something right. We've got to go through his stats as well. On the player rating as well. Isn't right. You know he's how class he can be, you think. Time to start Alex instead. I agree. Big up to Brad, by the way. One step for Wembley. And I hope you come on my show very, very soon, mate. Let us know. Big up to Tony. I'd love to get Tony on my show, but he's got a show coming up very, very soon with Chris Dorby. Big up to I Like Coffee as well. I hope you're okay. How's the trip? Any vlogs on my trip? I will be doing a vlog for the return leg, mate. So I'm going to get rid of the stuff on my videos and stuff like that. I'm going to do a brand new one, so I will do that as well. So, Ryan, Southampton fan, give us your breakdown on last night's game. And you don't sound so happy, right?
No, I don't know, mate. I think if we didn't have a donkey like Che Adams up front, I think the game would have probably been a little bit different because we actually would have scored. Especially when he was 1-on-1 with Pope, I was like, you've got to be fucking finishing that. But no, he hits us straight at the bloody prick. Like it pisses me off. Like I think you guys played well. I think you can't hide away from that fact. I think we had our own chances. I think we had chances to kind of win, not necessarily win the game, but I could have at least drew 1-1. Like yeah. I think albeit Adam Armstrong's goal was rightly disallowed. I think after because obviously from where I sat, I couldn't exactly see it, and then on the screen, it didn't really give you a clear kind of video of what actually happened. But when I watched it on the highlights, I was like, I mean, it's a little bit unfair, but it's justified because Adam Armstrong's falling over, but it does hit his arm on the way in, and it literally went in off his arm in Botman's thigh. I think it was Botman. I don't know. I don't really check.
Dan Burn.
Was it Dan Burn? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it came off Armstrong's knee as well because he's.
What I don't understand, right, is Dan Burn's like 8 foot tall, Moussa Gineppo's like fucking 4 foot, and yet our goalkeeper just persisted to boot the ball up to Moussa Gineppo like every single time. Like I don't know whether it's for Gineppo to put pressure on him to head out for a throw in. Not like we're dangerous on throw-ins anyway, as it is. But I can't. you know, I was saying to the family, we couldn't fault the boys last night. We just couldn't finish. It's the same story as you. Like
okay, because he got wiped out by Nick Pope, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he had concussion in the end.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because
he stood up and then he fell back over. Like
yeah, it's one of those ones with the stoppage in play. I mean, they're talking on the commentary on the TV that's a free kick, and I think it's not a free kick. He clearly won the ball, and there's going to coming together. And then when play restarted, it started off with a throw-in, which was the right call. But,
I think you know most people are going to have their own opinions, aren't they? I think you know, at the end of the day, I think you know, I think a draw probably would have been reasonable at the end of the day because I think like I was speaking to a Newcastle fan after the game because he was parked next to the car we were at, and it was just Matt and Kels, like it's just end to end, like nearly all game, and then like at the end of the day, your goal won it. So you know, I think the fans are getting a little bit cocky with the singing about going to Wembley, but at the same time, I could probably say
we sing that from the first round we're in any competition. So the third round of the FA Cup, the second round of this, we always sing about going to Wembley. It's not about being cocky. You always sing it in cup games.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're going to get anything out of the second leg, but I think it's you know, I think the game's done. Our season's over. I don't see us doing anything unless we sign a striker. If we don't sign a striker, we're down, in my honest opinion, because we can't rely on two donkeys up front for them two donkeys to not be able to score or Ward-Prowse to kind of carry us with free kicks, really. It's just not fair on relying on one player. I mean, I think, you know, it's a team's game. You know, I think the team done well yesterday. I just think...
They did cause us a lot of trouble via pressing. I was surprised that they took Mara off because I thought he was having a good game.
Oh, man, I don't understand either. I don't understand what... I can't... I said the other day, I don't feel sorry for Nathan Jones. I think he's coming to a club that's in turmoil as it is, and I think he's trying to get the best out of the players, and he's still trying to suss his best 11, the best system to come up against team. It's not. People on about it would have took the 6 weeks we had between the World Cup should have been easy, but it's not. It's not going to be easy when you're a manager coming into a new club. You know, I mean, he's had probably 8 games now in charge, I think, something like that. I mean, we've only won once in the league, and we've won 2 cup games, 3 cup games, 2 cup games under him. I worry for us if we don't get a striker, to say the least, because I think, you know, we kept Miggy quiet the whole game. No Salisu. I think Salisu had a good game. I think, you know, but I think Kletekar, he deserved to go. He's a little bit rash on that one in the first half. Again, from my view, it's hard to kind of judge. I thought, he's got to be off now, and he is. I know there's only a yellow card. And Lianco is a wild flame at the worst of times, but I think him pushing Bruno deserved his yellow cards, but one thing I didn't like, second of all, was St. Maximin pushing Lianco in the face. I know Lianco started it, and I'm not going to back him, but as far as I was aware, any kind of force to the face, whether you raise your hand, is a red card. That's what I've always been.
From the angle I saw it, it looked like it's in his chest, but I've only seen it once briefly. So
yeah, I'm from up. I'm like sitting near on at the back of the ground. So like I said, I'm only seeing it from my point of view because they didn't show it on the highlights. So like I said, I'm only going. But your boys did well to rattle us at the end of the day. It's not hard to rattle. One player, my man of the match on our end was probably the Alcaraz. Like I think he was picking out passes left, right, and centre. He had that early shot. About I thought, Pope's got it easily, and he just fucking palmed it away. I mean, you could just see the spin it had on it. But
it dipped and moved because Pope had almost gone past it with his dive, and then had to get back.
But now I think but at the end of the day, if you think about the whole 90 minutes, I think both teams couldn't realistically finish, and I think your goal could have been defended better. but Isak just turned our fucking centre back like he was some sort of bloody turnover or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought you harried us well. Our passing wasn't as crisp as it normally is. We were wasteful with the chances. I mean, how Joe Linton didn't score from sort of like 6 yards out, I don't know.
I would even say that he's literally under the crossbar and still bottled it over. Like,
yeah,
Jesus
it's almost
Christ.
like his eye. He got that red mist. His eyes think, let's smash it rather than just passing it into the net.
And then he learned his lesson by actually scoring his goal afterwards.
Yeah. So I mean, he could have had a hat trick.
He could have done. He could have done.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some comments, by the way. And before you go on, we're going to talk some chances.
John, I don't even notice, but across the stand across from you, in Kingsland, there was a massive fight. I don't know if you saw that at all. Like, it's just to the right of me.
Wow, I didn't know what it was. I didn't see it, mate. I just tend to keep myself out. Was it a bad one? It was the Newcastle fans there.
Yeah, there was Newcastle fans there, right? And you know, unlike yourself, they jumped up and cheered when Newcastle scored. And that is the worst thing you want to be doing at this moment in time, especially with fans like us who have witnessed it all season, or fans sitting in our stands. I mean, I personally haven't got a problem with it as long as you keep your mouth shut. But this guy, it was this man and woman, right? They jumped up, and then like obviously everyone around them got pissed off. So some guy tapped him on the shoulder and absolutely yeeted him one round the face. And then so they started all. He's defended himself, and then about 4 Saints fans jumped on him, and then his missus got hit, and then his missus started trying to defend him, and then his missus accidentally hit another woman, and then they started to pull hairs, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's more entertaining than the football.
Man.
There's about five security guards and about 4 police officers just up there, and then obviously during them being pulled down, obviously Adam Armstrong got that goal, and then they all started falling down the stairs. So
wow.
I've like in where I was, obviously, because they didn't do the VAR check straight away. So obviously we were all celebrating like it was a normal goal and shit. Like I was being pushed over, pulled around, like I've got a bruise on my shin and everything, cut on the back of my leg, all for disallowed goal. So I was fuming.
One of the Saints fan jumped over us, so I just missed the heat. I had to duck down for film and cover. And I tell you what, right? I mean, when it talked off, I tell you something, right? They must have looked this up like absolute mugs. I'm telling you, a lot of them. Sorry, Ryan, they were mugs. A lot of them.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, I think I know you obviously won the game, so it's not really a fair comment. But when Joe Linton had his goal disallowed and you boys set off a fucking pyro, that was fucking embarrassing.
It was.
I think. Carry on. I'll let you run your show.
Thank you. I'm just going to read the comments, so I was going to be behind. So please hit that like button, please. I'll get homie mods are here and force as well, hope. And got one eye like coffee. Hi to you, mate. Armstrong celebrated urge to have a score ruled out. I thought Armstrong was one of our own. Well, the way he celebrated last night, I'm sorry. Like I said, right, language, man. Sorry.
He's not playing for us. We discarded him. Let him have it. If he scores a goal,
let him have a show. Let him have a moment of fun. I don't mind. If referee VAR were not, if referee were not a joke, the tie would have been over already. Exactly. I mean, that goal, first off, I'm sorry, that should have stood, but there's one enough cameras. Joke. Southampton can be proud, and I think they'll be fine in a relegation fight, and their team worse than them, and the manager is going to be good for them. You know what? You got to give the man time. Yeah. Nick Pope laying down the smack, dude. Also, the ball came off Armstrong's arm to his knee, not Burns, so he's never going to stand. And Joe Linton's first goal was his body and not his arm. Well, I thought it was a foul, and I quickly realised, wow, that should have stood. Ryan, what do you think of Jacob Murphy when your number 6 got sent off? Apparently, he waved at him.
One word to sum him up. Can I say prick?
Go on.
Yeah,
prick.
Thank you. Southampton played well, to be fair, and the league position is false. I think they stay up the season. Southampton, they'll find a way. I have to say, Murphy and Bruno were class last. Neat. Probably because Murphy waved at car. And let's have a look at this one as well. Why do our players keep even off the stars of their shots? It's happened in consecutive games. Willock, Lansdowne, Joe Linton. Well,
Our
the thing
long
is,
staff was jokes, missing
I
like
tell
every
you
single.
what, I didn't think it was that good last week. To be fair, sorry, Rolly. I watched it last week live. He wasn't that good. I'm sorry. And the player ratings is going to be
He
beautiful.
wasn't. He wasn't as. I mean, his passing was a bit off, like, but everybody's was. He covers the ground. He makes the interceptions. His shooting this
Shooting's
season.
poor though, Rolly. It's shooting's poor.
His shooting. I think he thinks he's Johnny Wilkinson at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, right? The thing is,
his
though, right?
overall play wasn't bad. Yeah, some of his pass. I mean, everybody in midfield, their passing was pretty sloppy for most of the game.
Yeah.
Bruno included in that. So it's not fair having a go at Sean if you don't have a go at everybody else as well, because they were just as sloppy.
Yeah.
It's true.
But
At the end of the
overall,
day,
I
right?
don't think he played badly.
His shooting's poor and his tragic as well. He gave the ball
But
away
you
a
know he's
couple of
shooting
times.
poor. It's been poor all season.
Fair enough. Armstrong needs to remember where he comes from. You don't celebrate like that if you're Geordie. I think your boy should wave off Ryan when he's going to like Jason Murphy did the car last night. Wow.
Just celebrating when you score against you, not celebrating when you score against your old club. I must have missed the memo for that one, because it used to be, maybe I'm showing my age, but it used to be when you scored, you celebrated. It didn't matter. You don't sort of, it's like, pick it up in front of your old fans.
I
You
think
celebrate
as
the goal.
I think as Charlie Austin once said, because I remember when he played for us and he scored against Burnley, and he just says, "I've always had the most respect for Burnley, but when I was as a striker, when I score a goal, I want to celebrate my goal." And it's up to how the player wants to go around things. Because Armstrong can come out after the game and said, "I've got utmost respect for Newcastle. I'm a Newcastle boy." But at the end of the day, I'm a goal scorer. You know, you can't stop me from celebrating my own goals. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
it's completely up to him.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, as long as he doesn't run up to the Newcastle fans and sort of egg them
doesn't
on.
matter by your,
Yeah.
and just runs the whole fucking length of the pitch.
Yeah,
That would have
that's
been
what I
embarrassing if he
avoided.
got
But
called
there's
off.
nothing wrong with him celebrating with his teammates scoring a goal.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't see why
it's
people are
completely
so sour that he was celebrating, even though it was chalked off. I don't get that. I mean, he's being paid to score goals. He's probably gets a bonus for scoring goals. So why not celebrate?
I mean, he's got a massive forehead, isn't he? Like, he's got a massive forehead. Like, he's celebrating. His hair looks like it's fallen off.
Wow. Interesting. From the Southampton point of view, Alcaraz looked really good for a full debut. Nearly scored that long range effort as well. And Foxy carried on as well. Did say that Alcaraz price was bargain for Southampton. Do you play a second team in the FA Cup tie this weekend?
Personally, what I would do if I was Nathan Jones right now is I mean, it's always nice to have a cup run. I think, you know, Wigan done it when they got relegated. They won the FA Cup and went down. But I don't see us kind of overpowering anyone that's left in this competition. Obviously, with the FA Cup, I reckon it's always nice to get a day out at Wembley. I mean, I was there for the League Cup final in 16-17. I was there for the semi-final when we lost to Chelsea. I mean, it's nice, but at the end of the day, I think most fans can sit and go, would you rather win a trophy or get relegated or stay up, sorry. I would rather stay up, because at the end of the day, I mean, you can argue by saying that you'd rather win a trophy, because trophy is a memory forever. I mean, what does staying up get you? More money? I mean, you know, not like certain teams need more money, but I mean, we would need some money. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's catch 22. I would probably play a second team on Saturday, and then when we play you lot, when we play what?
I was going to say I'd rather you play a second team. You play a full strength team on Saturday, so you can progress in the FA Cup and play a weakened team against Stoke. Concentrate on the league.
I think any team we put out is weak, mate. At this rate,
Hey!
I think as I was saying, I think Saturday we play your second team, and then when we play you lot again, I think we shouldn't put a full strength team out, but play some starters. So like you've got your Bazunu, your Walker Peters, your Ward Prowse. I think, but the rest of them should kind of be makeshift, because not necessarily makeshift, but not starters, if you know what I mean. Just because we're at. My honest opinion is we're out of this cup now. I don't see us coming back, because going up to St James's Park is hard. Like it's been made clear by the teams that have gone up there as of now, like Man City. I think everyone expects Man City to wipe the floor of every team, but you give them a game. I think, it's one of them ones where I think this cup's finished for us. I think the FA Cup shouldn't be a priority. I think our priority should be winning league games, and I think can we win league games? Not without signing a striker, in my opinion, because we can't finish to save our life. It's proven by how many goals we scored and how many we've conceded, really. So, but yeah, that's that one.
I think the saving grace for you is that you're only 3 points from safety.
Yeah.
And there's between you and something like 14 places, 3 points. So you've not been cut adrift, because normally at this stage of the season, there's one or possibly two clubs that have been cut adrift.
Yeah, I think
one that's
I think I think the worrying thing for me at this moment in time is I don't see us getting any points at the moment. So it's going to be easy for us to cut adrift, you say. Obviously, if we can't, because at the end of the day, like I said, we can't rely on Ward Prowse to carry us for free kicks and shit. We don't have a striker able enough to score us God knows how many goals. I remember also there's rumours of obviously Danny Ings linked with us again. Like, apparently we had a meeting with him, but we couldn't afford his wages. At the end of the day, I know he's injured now for West Ham, but at the same time, I would have put money risking having him back here and only just signing him between now and the end of the transfer, which is next weekend. No, not next weekend, next week, and not sign anyone else, because at the end of the day, Danny Ings is a proven goal scorer. You're not gonna get someone who's younger than him, scores the amount of goals in him for 20 mil or 15 mil, whatever the West Ham signed him for. So
yeah. Fair enough. I'll go through the comments as well. Please hit the likes, please, as well. Do follow Polly's67 and also Ryan Bishop on Facebook. You need to be concentrating and staying in the league, mate. What good a Carling Cup FU Championship for me? There's only one team.
Europa League, mate.
Fair enough. Armstrong terrorised us as it came on. Even Botman found you to be a handful of times. I read that as well. I do apologise. We should have been out to start at half time. We took all the chances, didn't take them. That's the thing. Nick Pope 10 clean sheets in a row. The only keeper to do that in England last decade. I'm going to go for the asking questions as well, Rolly as well. I would have been on, but I got a short. I will have a fantastic time, Tony, with Chris Dorby. And if you don't know who Chris Dorby is, he is a PDC darts player. So, any questions for this guy later? Go for it. Even Adam P and some fans got shoved to the ground in the celebration. I tell you, I saw that. We were absolutely mental. Guy in the bottom middle had an hideous growth coming from his ear. That's Ian. Okay. Evening to you, Alan. Big up to Leslie. Huge policies to Kong. I was scrolling through messages as late accidentally timed out. So sorry, Kong. That's absolutely fine. Leslie, welcome. I hope you're okay. Job done, Southampton next St James. Even to win. I hope you're okay. Man United starting with the first 11 elite. They are pushing half of the cup. And if you come through the youth system at a club and you feel like they never give you a chance, getting rid of you at the first opportunity, I wouldn't blame Armstrong to celebrate goal scoring against us. Joe Linton's goal was not a handball. I agree. Big up to Ken. Hope you're well. Hope you are too. Brilliant for me. In first leg, and I've become a great granddad for the first time. We must go on.
Congratulations,
Ken.
Well done, Ken. Congrats, Ken.
Well done, Ken. Big up to you, my guy, and I'll wish you every success. Nick Pope, what a keeper. I was genuinely concerned when he headed the ball away and steamrolled the Southampton player. I was level with that, and I'm sorry. He was fine. I hope. Who's that on the ground who got carried off?
Gineppo.
Gineppo, I hope he's okay. Gineppo, I hope he's absolutely okay.
Apparently, it's just concussion. I hope.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. He's a damn good player. Big up to Solo 7 and Timur, big United fan. Hope you're okay, my guy. Long time no see. And John is absolutely loving Paul Ryan because he's miserable. It's St. Skills doing they want to keep their star players. I think for me, Ward Prowse, I was speaking to someone yesterday, and I believe Ward Prowse could be staying.
You reckon? It's funny I said that. I was having a chat with someone yesterday, and this morning, I was saying, with Ward Prowse, I think if he sees himself, it all depends on what he wants with his career. If he wants to become a legend, then he would probably stay. But if he wants to win a trophy, I will not blame him for leaving. I think Walker Peters will leave. Well, he's unhappy as it is anyway. I think I won't be surprised if someone takes a shot at Salisu.
I like him.
He played well.
He played well. Great player.
I think Kletekar will probably go. I think we'll be left with all the youth players, all the young players who signed in the summer, like Bazunu, Lavia, Mara, Edozie. I think Edozie caused you a bit of trouble when he came on as well, on the left wing. Him and Armstrong. I think the thing is though, like we look at our squad. If we do go down, we've got people who've proven it in the Championship, i.e. Adam Armstrong, Che Adams.
Shed loads of goals. What did he get? Like 25 goals a season before you bought him?
Yeah, something like that. And obviously, I'm reading a comment at the bottom, obviously Foxy, but I was just saying, like, people, Blackburn fans are laughing and we're saying we signed the wrong striker.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I see it, we should not be buying from the championship altogether. I think we need to be buying. I saw us linked with Apcom from fucking Middlesbrough. I don't care about that. I want a striker from the Premier League or someone who's got experience. You know, we shouldn't be settling for next season. We should be settling to stay in the Prem. I mean, you know, I think going on to next week, I'm surprised the amount of tickets, because bear in mind, you're the longest trip for us, especially being from the bottom of the country to the top of the country. It's a midweek game. It's Tuesday night, and we sold like 4,000 tickets. That's big for us. No, that is mental. Bear in mind, massive. You know, I mean, you probably won't be able to hear us over your lot, but I mean, 4,000 fans might make some sort of a noise.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, it's going to be a cracking atmosphere next Tuesday. Let me tell you. And
we probably have a great display as well.
Yeah, enjoy the atmosphere. Members and ST Ballot, how tickets going to be sold for the Carabao Cup? It's not going to be the semi-final, Nathan, or it's going to be the final.
Well, the semi-final is sold.
If it's semi-final, mate, it's sold out, mate. The game's sold out. If it's going for the final, it's going to be very interesting. I think
we haven't got there yet.
We haven't got there yet, but it's got to be season tickets, man. It's got to be season tickets first choice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's got to be. I mean, and another thing is, how many tickets are we going to send? How many tickets would we be allowed to have, though?
I think it's about 30,000, something like that.
I'm only going to say this on past experience of getting to, obviously, I went to the League Cup final, and I think it was something like, I think the people who were able to, it's obviously season tickets holders first, but I think they're basing it on how many League Cup games you've gone to. And I think allocation wise, I think you get the whole, obviously, you know, if you watch Wembley finals and stuff, you get like half the stadium is one team and the other half the stadium is the other. That's probably what it's going to be. You'll probably get given half a stadium, which you'll fucking easily sell out. Like,
I don't think it's half a saving because of all the corporate stuff and the tickets they give away into the dignitaries. So I think it's about, I'm not sure on this, but I think it's sort of like 25 to 30,000 each.
I probably didn't explain it right, but I think, you know what I mean, like half the stadium, because obviously you split it down the middle. one side would be one side and one side would be the other. That's what I probably would have meant by half a stadium.
Mm.
So obviously you'll get one half, you'll get one side. Obviously, let's be honest, probably Man United's going to get the other half. So,
Well, they've still got to beat Forest, but you expect them to.
So yeah.
Yeah, a bit of breaking news as well. I mean, going back to that in a minute, but also about the match. I tell you what, whoever's got season tickets, I think they should get first choice. Whoever's got a season ticket, I think should automatically go. Because I've got a season tickets, and I hope I get a chance to do it.
Season ticket and how many Carabao Cup games you've been to? I think
yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It comes down to that as well. So
season tickets with Carabao Cup games, then season tickets, and then members, and then general sale if there are any left, which there won't be.
It'd be interesting. It'd be very, very, very interesting. You know what I mean? And it'll come to that. Actually, forgot that news. Bertrand Diaz signed a free contract with Villarreal. Great move for him. Wish him all the best as well, if that's the case. And also, I think Southampton stay up this season. That's for Martin. And they got Les Jets and Jules crew as well. And even to Jules, hope you're okay. The run in the bottom doesn't help. I think Ian, and let's go for this as well. We're going to talk about the chances we had. Even to Jules, hope you're okay. Hey, Ches. I just got become was great support last week. Nathan, I tell you, I was there. And I'll tell you something, mate, it was absolutely amazing. What an absolute atmosphere. And so there was a question for the founder if we get through. Yeah, I think we explained that as well. You have to contact that as well. I love how fans join in singing when the Saints goes marching in, singing Mags instead. That's class, isn't it? We have got there. There's no chance. Literally none. Southampton will turn us over at St. James's. Wow.
Yeah,
if this sells out, I'll be furious.
I like that. I want Ian's optimism. I want whatever he's having.
With you there, Jules, chatting to Jules. And let's go to ASM. Isn't true, Eddie only said last week that he's back to where he was before the injury. We'll be fools to sell him at the minute. I hope we never sell him and becomes a legend. Absolutely. He loves Newcastle. There's just no way. Can't see that.
It's every transfer window that the press try and sell him for us.
Yeah. It's all the talk. All the news stores come from the Italian side, not from our side. Yeah. And they may well house allocate. Each club will be given a certain number of tickets, and then the clubs will allocate their tickets in the way they want it. Yeah. And that'd be interesting. I got season tickets as well, but there'll be a few in my family who wanted to be going as well. It's going to be a scramble for tickets, by the way. I'm hoping I get there as a season ticket holder who's been all the home and League Cup games. That's Tom. And I love how he said plow in with he thought someone was at Bruno. If we qualify, obviously. Jez, I don't think we should ASM. Jules, we're not in it, make money, and he's played some if it's best football coming on. Eddie even said that's his decision making has been class. And Toon revival. So, John, are you going to get Anthony Gordon's shirt and support him when he flops here? I can't believe how we're going to put the money for him. He's not for Madison Jug. You know what it is, right? I'm not a Gordon fan. Right? Would it be my choice of signing? No, it would not. But one thing I'm going to see it, right? But we've got to trust Eddie on his judgment, yeah? At the end of the day, and when people want him, people don't want him. If I'm honest with you, I'm in the middle. But like Tony said, if Eddie gets him, I will back Eddie all the way. But in my opinion, is he going to come?
Gordon, wouldn't you have an attitude if you're playing for Everton? Because they're a mess.
They are. They're a mess. They're a mess.
And they have been. When you think since he broke into the first team last season, it's him and Richarlison that they basically carried them to safety. It was only 20 at the time. He's not had decent coaching in the first team. I mean, Frank Lampard's not a good coach. Right, we would have had Rafa for a bit, but the atmosphere at Everton is toxic. And it has been for a while. So, I mean, they're looking at Bielsa apparently.
I saw that.
I've got an excellent meme. I think it was yesterday or the day before, saying that Everton were in talks with Bielsa, and they went around the lines like, "Who are Everton? How did you get this number? Please don't call me again."
I think our manager's linked to him as well, Ralph.
Yeah. I mean, they just do knee-jerk reactions because they decided they're going to sack Lampard and they didn't really have an idea who they wanted.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're looking at all the out-of-work managers.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry.
Let me be clear. Bielsa will not come to Everton, and I'll tell you for why. Because he's asking for money, and he's asking what the players are like, and he said point blank, it's too slow. Slow. The players are too slow. And Bielsa's not a fool. He's not an idiot. He knows exactly what he wants. And I don't think he'll come back in English football because he wants to respect Leeds United, and he loves Leeds, by the way. And
but if he gets the right opportunity, he'll come back.
Yeah, I think so. He's a breath of fresh air, Bielsa. I think Leeds should never have sacked him, but hey ho. Hi guys, Ken. Each club gets 35,000 tickets. The rest goes in corporate. We've got 40,000 season ticket holders. So there you go. There's your answer. Jules, I just sent you a DM. Indeed, Chaz. Tell me, mum, I will be hungry tea. We're going to Wembley. Tell me, man. I love that. We gotta love that. Big up, my guy. Big up. Isaac was sharper than a brand new Stanley Blade last. Neat. And let's go on to I keep ASM F of Gordon. He's never going to be as good as ASM, exactly. And go with more comments. What's up at 4 a.m. with the time difference, trying to get a ticket for the second leg of flights ready to return to the UK, but no chance. I was a 15th in the queue. Wow, Foxy. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm a Southampton supporter. Ruben, please hit that subscribe button, my guy, if you can. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on board. And my honest opinion, if you played a bit better than yesterday, I would say we'll win 2-0, but it'd be a very close game. Well, Ruben's being confident, by the way, saying they're going to beat Newcastle by 2-0. But the thing is, though, Ruben, right, apart from Liverpool and Man City, no other teams have scored more than once against us.
Well, and Sheffield Wednesday, but that was a very weak team against our first team. First team, only Liverpool and Man City scored more than one goal against us. That includes Arsenal and Man United, Chelsea.
There you go. I mean, the thing is, though, we're just so strong. 10 clean sheets straight. And I tell you what, Runa Guimaraes has come out and said that Nick Pope is the best goalkeeper in the world. Do you agree with that?
It's difficult to say that, to agree wholeheartedly, because over the last, since the World Cup, he's hardly had anything to do. But when he's been called upon, he's done what he's needed to do. I mean, he is a top keeper. Whether he's the best in the world, I don't know. Maybe it's just Bruno picking him up, but he's one of the best keepers in the Premier League without a doubt.
In Europe,
whether he's best or not, there's an argument to be had there.
Very interesting. We go through the comments, going for the play ratings in a bit. If you buy Gordon, he has to prove himself for our support the Scouts from Mackham. I still worry Southampton will turn up and cause an upset at St James's Park. I hope that's not the case. My problem with Gordon, he doesn't fight for his own home team, and that's clear. So why would we want him? He offers now, and he's 21, not 17, which you should not be looking to sign cool. I tell you what.
I disagree that he doesn't fight for his club. He's the only one that was. Him and Richarlison were the only ones that were fighting for Everton last season.
Yeah, he's done. I think he's done that. I mean, he's been part on the poor side, but this season he's not being coached properly at all whatsoever. But you just got to trust Eddie's management. That's Alan. Gordon's playing a piss poor team, excuse me, language. I trust Eddie, Ashwood and Co. They are solid players. They want, whether they like it or not, they will know where they fit as squad, the project. And Everton's best option in new managers is Sean Dyche. And Dyche will be put this for Everton right now. That's from Richard. Big up to you, Richard. He'll run the socks off. He's an Eddie player. For me, Steve Bruce for Everton. It's not even mentioned. Wow. And I tell you what, though, It'd be very interesting. I remember Everton fans wanting Bruce and mocked us at sacking him. Surprise, surprise. How are we to know the inside story of how players are and how they conduct themselves? Trust the process. Trust the process.
No.
I said that last season and people ripped us to absolute shreds, I'm telling you, on social media. But guess what? I did it back to them. And then they sent us a DM apologising to us. Should be 30,000 season tickets. Then Jones sells for the round of 5th. Cool. Just go 5. So obviously the player ratings as well. Southampton play Blackpool. Might end up with injuries if our game against Tranmere is edited to go by. Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
When Nick Pope I'm not going to read that. I know what you mean. Thank you, Starless good Joe Hall on loan. Guy in the top that looks like he has a massive problem. Look, heat. Honestly, Edison is
probably alone.
Say it again, mate.
I'm about to say, talking about Rolly there.
Rolly, yeah.
I didn't catch that one.
Thank you, Mason. Justice Guy, thanks, Ruben, mate. I really appreciate that. Guess you have to wait. I was saying too because we were crap at pens. Wow. And Bruno was not good yesterday. That's from Jules. Bruno was supporting and giving praise to his goalkeeper. Of course he would. And fair play, Bruno is a team player.
Yeah,
and the funny John Claus doesn't want him. It's Ashworth. He wants Gordon because he brought him up through Everton ranks. Thanks for the sub. Thank you, Leslie. Gordon's sign at that price has to be questioned for sure. Has ability, which how can help develop. Gordon's playing 6 yellow cards from 12. That's my worry. That's my worry. We can't play much worse than that, John. I tell you what, we got to play a lot better than that than last year. Yes, we won, but there's a lot of work with the finishing, by the way. Gordon's good fit. He runs and runs and runs. I think a lot of people will be eating humble pie. You got Gordon and still won. I said Burn, not Bruno. That's just right. Let's go straight to the player ratings, yeah. And I've got to thank you. I've got to thank you as well from Southampton fan. Did a quick interview from last week. Check it out on the short clips. Right, we'll go for player ratings and I'll go through each player, give ratings out of 10. Fans could join in as well. And the interviews at the end they spoke about the team. No mentioning individuals and they're so together as unreal. Thank you very much indeed. Right then, let's go with Nick Pope. I mean, look, he made 3 cracking saves yesterday. In my opinion, the one for Che Adams kept us in the cup tie, really. And look, 10 clean sheets straight. What would you give him?
7.
7. It's a bit harsh.
No, because when he was asked to do something, he'd done something, but didn't exactly have much to do. So that's if he was kind of, if you won and then we kept peppering your goal and he's making loads of saves, it could have easily been a 10 out of 10. But that was just my opinion because he didn't do much.
Well, I think with regards to saves, he had 3 shots to save and he saved them all. But it's the sweeping up that he does. When he wiped Danipo out, I thought he was in on goal because our centre halves aren't the quickest. Yet Pope was alive to it, and that's what he's good. That's the part of his game that goes unnoticed. Is clearing up.
Okay, you can have an 8 then. You can have an 8.
Yeah, that's what I'd have given him. That's what I give him an 8. It's not just the actual goalkeeping; it's the sweeping up as well that he did. And his distribution was quite good too, so I'd give him an 8.
An 8 out of 10. And you, Ryan, would you give him Nick Pope? I know we're doing a Newcastle player rate. 8. That's fair enough. And we've got Tone Charles, give him a 9, a 10 from 10 out of 10. 10 for the Pope, best keeper in the UK this season, and 9. He made like 4 saves. 10 just for the rugby tackle. I placed Gordon if he gets more than 10 goals in the season, but if he doesn't, why would you even play him? You want top 4 or front line, the 15 goals plus his proven every season. Big up to Jules, by the way. Pretty sure that early inside the club knows who we want, who we don't, and who we have and haven't gone for. I'm no radical. What? You know what? Every time you speak, I listen to you, Jules. 9. Did nothing and 9 for Pope. Right, let's go to the right back. Let's start with you, Rolly. I'm going to go with Kieran Trippier. Look, I mean, he did have it in the first half. I'm not going to lie, but he got done against Dorsey at times. Yeah, with a stopping moment. But he made 5 tackles, great cross as well. Marks out of 10 for Kieran.
I'm going to give him a 7. as you say, he did get beat a few times. Some of his passing was a bit off point. His delivery and his set pieces were. Set pieces are good, but we just don't seem to be able to capitalise on them. But I'm going to give him a 7. It wasn't a bad performance, but it's not up to. It wasn't one of his better games.
Mm-hmm. And Ryan,
I'd agree. I'll go 7.
Yep, I'll go 7 as well. I can't lie. And I to cheers. Please kick on respectful. Thank you, Jules. John, look how many goals Manny, Salah, Jota, and Firmino get in the season. That's what it takes in that league in Europe. It's standard for a top side, having elite forwards. Yeah. Okay, Trippier, 8. Wayne says 8. In case you missed this. And 8 for Trips as well. I'll give him a 7 to me, if I'm honest with you. Let's go on to the other side. Dan Burn for me. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I mean, past the game, he really struggled, right? But he's quite going forward. And he got done by Armstrong as well for a disallowed goal. But he was lucky, by the way. But let's be real, right? I didn't think he had that good a game. But at the end of the day, I think he really struggled for me.
Yeah, it did at times. But I think his attacking play is improving. I think he's getting forward more than he has been. I think he's getting more confident going forward. Defensively, he got caught a couple of times, but on the whole, he was solid. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay. Do you go on that, Ryan?
I don't know. I'm going to be a little bit harsh. I'm going to go 6.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the defenders, Fabian Schär. For me, I mean, I tell you what, they tried to cut him short after 5 minutes, or 6 minutes, something like that, but he covered so well. But he did some beautiful crossfield passes, especially in the first half. And I think his pass of the ball really has been fantastic. He's done a good job.
Yeah. I thought defensively is sound. His passing, they have good passing range. Is bringing the ball forward quite well. I think he's probably our best defender last night.
Yeah.
I give him an 8.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Ryan?
I'll probably agree. I will go with an 8.
8, fair enough. Burn 5 out of 10. 6 for Burn from Allen. When Burn cuts down the left, I'll worry every time. 8, he puts himself around, he's bobbing forward, looking for another goal. Burn 8 out of 10. Wow. Not Burn's best defense out of that. He was always your full game. It's his opinion. He does give him an 8. Give him an 8. Yeah?
Yeah.
Share 9, 8, and Charlton 8. 9 out of 10 from Jez. And Burn brilliant this season, but really poor in possession. Got lucky with Armstrong, exactly. And as me or Dushard have to go as hard attacking, begin each match when he goes down. Wow.
You always take the clattering in the first 10 minutes.
Exactly. So 8 out of 10 then for Fabian Schär. Sven Botman, I mean, for me, I think he did all right. He did a brilliant block to deny Armstrong. I'm sure he did. And at times, he's had a few open moments. Should have scored in the second half, by the way. For me, it wasn't his best of games. I'm not going to lie. But the one thing about Sven, he is solid.
Yeah, he is solid. Not his best of games again. He slipped one time that almost got us in trouble. I think defensively, he's as solid as anybody in the league. Good passing range, though. He had a few more balls, loose balls than normal. I'm going to give him a 7 as well, because I thought that Shah was better than him.
Okay, 8 out of 10 for the Toon. And what about you, Ryan? Botman?
Botman, I mean, I don't watch much of Liga last season, and I don't know, my brother's still watching this, Pablo, but I was winding him up all summer saying, Botman's joining Milan, all this jazz. And I think watching him last night, I don't really think much of him, personally. I think he was better back in November when we didn't have much of a threat, but at the same time, I would probably say your defence, bar Burn, probably, I'll give him 7.5. There you go, 7.5.
7.5 for Sven Botman. Okay, let's go into the midfield. We're going to go to Rolys' favourite player, Sean Longstaff. Look, I think,
10.
listen, I like him. But
I like Sean. I think he gets a
is,
lot of unjustified stick.
he looks off the pace, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think there's a few more loose passes than normal from him, but I thought his all-round game wasn't bad. He leads the press well. I thought he gets back and tackles well. He needs to figure out how to finish. Because he's getting into all the right paces to score and then turns into Johnny Wilkinson.
Or Prime Emil Heskey.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Because 7's my favourite number tonight.
I tell you what, there's your answer. And 7 out of 10 for Sean Longstaff. For me, I would give him 5. Ryan.
I'm going to give him a 6.
6. Okay. 6 out of 10. Longstaff, 8 out of 10. 8! 8 out of 10. Wow. Wow. Jules, I've just seen it. I will sort it out. Yeah, I'll give him a 5 in my opinion. Let's go on to the next one. We're going to go Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, look, he's tried to keep the game ticking, keep the ball ticking over. Is it his best of the night? It wasn't, no. But more passes and classy moments there. And for me, I think he had a good game. I mean, what do you think, Rolly? I would be
his passing was a little off, and some of his control on the ball again was a little off. But I say off, but that's by his standards because he's so good. I thought he ran midfield for large portions of the game. I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay, 8 out of 10. And what do we go with Ryan for Bruno Guimaraes?
I personally, I've seen him down here 3 times. I think it was his worst match. It was his worst
probably.
one. I think his best one was last season when he scored that good goal. But if I was basing it off yesterday, I would probably say, I don't know, I'd probably give him a 7. That's just my opinion.
7 out of 10 for Bruno Guimaraes. Thanks, Rock the Toon. Yeah, I'll read that in a bit as well. Okay, let's move on to Joel Willock. I mean, I thought, if I'm honest with you, I thought he is absolutely poor. I mean, he rushed 2 massive chances, blazed over the bar. He's trying to take the net off, instead of trying to take off the fans as well. Plenty of running without any input at all whatsoever. I love Joe Willock. I'm a big fan of Joe Willock. But for me, I thought he was really poor at shooting and 2 missed chances. Blazed it over the bar. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable, Joe. He's getting a 5. What do you think, Rolly?
I wouldn't say it was terrible. He does transition the ball, but yet the end product isn't there. The couple of rash shots that he should have done better with. I think that when he came off, he was the right person to come off. I don't think he was as bad as you, so I'll give him a 6.
Ryan Willock.
If we're basing it not off his shooting, he could have easily been, I think, on the night, your best midfielder. But when it comes to shooting, that at least knocks it down a fair bit.
Yeah.
You know, but I would probably, I don't know, I'd probably give him a 7. I think your midfield was balanced enough to kind of, do well when it was needed. So,
yeah, fair enough. Let's go on to Joe Linton. For me, I thought that miss was absolutely appalling. If he had missed, I would have given him a 4 or 5 out of 10 on the day. Don't worry about his own work hard or Jules' midfield. He bossed the midfield again. His long bust and runs outstanding with a bit of attacking movement as well. For me, that chance could have cost us the tie, but he made amends with that goal. And how many marks out of 10 would you give him?
Well, again, I thought Joe Linton was all action. He put himself around like he normally does. if he'd scored that first goal, I'd have given him a 9. But because it's such a bad miss, I have to downgrade him to 8. He wasn't sleeping when Isaac beat the defender to get to the byline and cross it in. He was following it in to actually tap it in, which it pretty much was. I thought his overall game, his tackling, his combativeness was good, but he should have had 2. He should have had what? He should have actually had a hat trick, because the one that was disallowed shouldn't have been disallowed, and he should have scored that sitter. That's I can only give him an 8.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, 8 out of 10. Oh, okie dokie. Let's go on to
because he
the
scored that
attacking.
one, didn't he?
Wow,
if he hadn't scored the actual winner, it'd have gone down to 7.
Go on then. What about you, Ryan?
I think he was your best player last night, so I'm giving him a 9.
Despite the miss.
Oh, despite the miss, yeah, I think he caused us issues, especially in the air.
Yeah. The only reason I give him an 8 is because he missed that sitter.
Yeah,
I think he knew it as well. He knew he ballsed up there.
Yeah, you can see it on his face.
Fair enough. Let's go on to the front. Let's go into the front three quickly. Let's go on to we're going to start with Miggy Almiron. I mean, for the run of the game, he nearly had an assist when that big miss on Joe Linton, by the way. And I'm going to be honest with you, Rolly, right? I'm a Miggy fan. I love him. But there's 2 things against him. Number 1, he's a bit one dimension at times. He needs to change things up. And 2, half the opponents were to mute. But I'm not going to have a go at him.
Yeah,
But at the
I
end of the
love
day,
Miggy
that's
as
the
well.
question.
I think opposition sides are trying to keep him on his right foot. He finds a way to get it onto his left. I think his all-round play, the runs he's making.
Thanks, Jules.
He's still making runs and not getting the ball when he's making those ones into the box. His tackling back, I think, is good. I thought he had a decent game, so I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay, what about you, Ryan?
I'm going to feel really harsh here. I'm going to say it from my point of view. I think, apart from that one where he set up Joe Linton's kind of misser, I didn't see him kind of cause any kind of issue to us. I think Salisu kind of had him where he wanted him. Like you said, he's trying to go onto his left foot, but I think Salisu kind of done half a job. And then he swapped
had
wings.
A really good game for you.
Yeah, as soon as Almiron swapped wings, he got better because he was kind of, he was kind of picking his. I think Yanko is probably one of our worst centre backs in my opinion. The only thing fans have for him is his passion. I'm going to feel really harsh in this, but I'm based on what I saw. I'm going to give Miggy a 4.
Oh, well, that is harsh.
Well, it's your player rating sort of thing.
Yeah.
People's got an opinion, but there you go. 4 out of 10 for Miggy. Fair enough. And if saying take care of Jules. Jules, have a good evening, pet. Let's go on to Callum. Let's go on to Callum Wilson, right? I mean, look, this is about the 5th or 6th time that is well off the pace yet again, right? That is due to his illness. And for me, I'm going to be honest with Callum Wilson. He lacks strength to hold the ball up. There's no explosive pace he once had. Trying to get him beyond the players. There's none of that. And I'm not being funny, right? But for me, I said this the other day, and I said it before, he needs to be dropped for Isak. And, someone needs to happen now. We need to get a striker in. We need to get a striker because you cannot carry Callum now. I mean, for me, if it was my way, I would give him a 4 out of 10. What about you, Rolys?
I'm not that harsh because I'll give someone, if they don't do anything particularly bad, they get a 5 from me anyway. So that's my baseline for turning up, playing without making any rips to get a 5. So you've got to be really bad to get a 4 from me. I thought there's something wrong with Callum at the moment. He just doesn't seem the player he was before the World Cup. Even his hold-up play isn't as good as it normally is. I agree with you that I hope that Eddie starts with Isak next Tuesday. So I'm reluctantly going to give him a 5.
And what about you, Ryan?
I'm going to give him a 1 just because I don't like him.
Fair enough. Let's go, Sean, to the subs there. I'm going to start to Alan saying Maximan. I mean, he came on, changed the game, committed to playing tackles, drew fouls, got brought down by a collector car, got sent off. But it's when he gets the ball, they look absolutely scared of him. Surely now he has got to start early.
Yeah, I agree with you. Him and Isak coming on changed the game. I've said it for the last few times when he's come on as sub. He's starting to become a complete player. He's dangerous running at people, but now he's actually picking the right pass. His decision making is a lot better, and he's running back. He's tracking back to defend as well. Because he's only on for 20 minutes, I'm only going to give him an 8. I want to see him do that for a full 90 minutes, but I thought that he's really good when he was on the ball, and his defensive work has improved. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Brilliant stuff. And you know what it is, right? I mean, he's got to start next Tuesday. He has to start next Tuesday. What about you, Ryan? Marks that 10 for Alan. ASM.
Alan say maximum, right? He came on and, like you said, he got the ball, and literally no one wanted to go to him. Like it's a disgrace. I mean, when we do go to him, he bounces off our players like he's a bouncy ball, bruv. Like I just don't understand. Like you just can't take him down. Like it's frustrating. And then as soon as we do, you manage to tackle him, and he's stuff like stupid defender gets sent off. But personally, I'd give him an 8.5 just for his cameo, really, because he done well.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go on to. Let's go on to Jacob Murphy then. I mean, look.
0 minus 4,000.
Yeah. And he went down, got the sent off.
It wasn't on for long, but what he did, I thought he was okay. It was one of his better cameo performances. There's a bit of shithousery when he was waving the guy that got sent off. But for the work he did, I mean, he's almost wasn't on long enough to really score him. So I'm going to give him a 7. I know that Ryan's going to give him a -5, but
he's getting a minus 4,000 from me, mate.
Oh, that's the worst rating. I'm sure. Maxi Isak needs to start. Isak helps the mid out by dropping to burst the ball, and Maxi at his best against the tougher defenders. Wilson needs to be rested and time to reset. ASM gets an 8 for the night. Jordan moved back to CM. 9 from as from Wayne. Isak at the top as well. Isak would got a 10 if he started. What a play he got on our hands. 10 for the wave. Murphy, 10 for Shahouzi. 8 in the Destroyer. Don't be too hard on your players. Exactly. Let's go on to the Swedish Henri. Isak. Look, what a turn. He absolutely left this fullback like a roast turkey. Beautiful turn of pace. Got onto the byline, pulled the ball back, and Joe Linton got at the end of it, leaving Basuna with no chance whatsoever. He has got to start really for me. Man of the match, 8 out of 10.
I'm not necessarily saying he's man of the match because I don't think he's on long enough. But what he did whilst he was on, that guy is class. As you say, the turn of pace to get into the box, the vision to see Joe Linton and ASM in the box and to put the perfect pass in. That the only ones that are going to get it, the only one that was going to get to that ball was Joe Linton. I'm just desperate for him to start on Tuesday. He gives teams a different problem than Callum Wilson, because Callum Wilson would sort of likes to play with us back to the goal, where Isak's running back, looking to run behind the defence. He's very skillful on the ball, got good vision. I'm going to give him a 9. because I think that goal, the importance of the goal and the way that he created it, I'm going to give him a 9. I think the guy is class.
Ryan, do you agree?
Yeah, he's going to get an 8.5 because I remember I was slagging him off in the preview show and he absolutely bugged me off. So he deserves credit.
Okay, fair enough. Right then, for the fans, I'm going to go straight into the fans. Both sets of fans gets a 10 out of 10. What an atmosphere. I was there. I witnessed it firsthand. What an atmosphere. 10 out of 10 for both set of fans. And Eddie Howe, Rolly.
I mean, we won the game, which is the main thing. It's set up the team to win the game, and we won. I would have liked to start with ASM and Isak. We didn't, but we've not been beaten with the team that he set off with. I would have liked to have seen the substitutions a little earlier. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10 because at the end of the day, we won the game, which is what we had to do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And what about you, Ryan? Eddie Howe? And Nathan Jones, if you want.
0 because I don't like Eddie Howe. And Nathan
Is that because he managed Bournemouth?
Yeah, that's why I gave Wilson a 0 as well.
That's what I thought.
Nathan Jones, on the other hand, I don't know. I think everyone sometimes questions some of his starting 11s. I think yesterday he got the team right. It was just a shame, but I just think it was a shame and nothing come off it. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I thought that he did well. He got your side in our faces, which is unusual because we're normally the ones in the other side's faces.
Yeah.
So, in some respects, I'm sure you're a little bit disappointed that you didn't come away with a draw.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very disappointed. It's just that we can't bloody finish to save our life. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. So
there you go. Right then, that's all the play raters done. The review
poor
done.
Southampton, eh?
What's that, Ryan?
I said poor Southampton. I'll give them all a 7.
Brilliant. 7 out of 10. Brilliant for turning up. And first got a shirt sponsor. Yes, they have. And we're going to wrap up the show, people, because it's coming at 8 o'clock. And thanks so much, guys, for coming on. Thanks for the chat as well. And I'll start with Ryan. Where can you find you on the socials, mate?
I don't know. I don't really go on social media as much, to be fair.
Go on to Ryan Bishop, Mr. B, on his Facebook. And Rolly, where can you find you, my guy?
You can find me on Twitter at Poles67.
Big up to you. And you can find us, the links in the description. You know what it is. And just check it out there as well. Lead us to win. Thanks to Truls and Chairs. And thank you for the comments as well. I really appreciate that. And if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And also, if you'd like to super chat, click on the $sign. If you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. And also, if you can, please, I posted it out there yesterday, right? If you check out the clip, I'll post it on YouTube, called Southampton 0, Newcastle 1, Carabao Cup, semi-final first leg, fans celebrating the win in Southampton. So check that out, please, yeah? And hit the like button as well. That will be absolutely beautiful if you do that. Thank you very much indeed. I should be back tomorrow for the transfer review show. And please join us for that. And we're going to talk about Anthony Gordon. We're going to talk about ASM. We're going to talk about Saïd as well from Chelsea as well. And so I'll be doing a transfer window show. So I'm really going to join us for that tomorrow, mate.
I'll see. Yeah.
Let us know. Let me know, and then we work on it, my guy. You know what I mean? So just go for the last few comments as well. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Leslie. Hope you're okay. Hit the likes away out. Thank you so much indeed. I thought you heard the pulse mouth. He does, and of course he does. Take care to Chairs. Take care to Leslie, and thanks, Mason. Everyone in the chat. Thanks so much indeed for joining. I've already to you guys backstage. Until then, thanks for watching the show, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's a goodbye.